Hello everybody, this is Kyrix, another edition of This Week in Kyrix. This is for the week of Wednesday, January 13th, 2021, being recorded on Tuesday, January 12th, 2021. So, I am about 24 episodes into recording This Week in Kyrix. So, I've been moving at quite a fucking clip on this. I won't go into any more spoilers as to what I've done and accomplished, but I'm doing very well. Let's just leave it at that. I have, however, been up to some other projects. It wasn't originally planned, but I've actually collabed with a friend on his, I almost said Twitter, his Twitch account. I'm not sure what he goes by there. I'm going to call him Wombat, because that's what he's called himself in the past. And that is a nickname he has. But Wombat and I had been talking to him, because apparently I had not gotten around to telling him until yesterday that I had been fired from Walmart, which, in hindsight, has been happening a lot. Like, the same thing happened with Robert. Robert didn't realize until, like, a week later that I'd been fired. I'm like, didn't I tell you? He's like, no. I'm like, oh, I thought I told you. I told everyone else. One moment. Sorry, I had to take some headache pills. I have been sleeping a lot of the day and haven't really fed myself other than candy and pre-cooked bacon. So, and by pre-cooked, I don't mean leftovers. I mean the kind of fully cooked bacon that comes out of the package. You can just eat it. It's like 12 strips. It's not bad, though. Actually, I think it was 16 strips. It's not bad. I mean, it's not great. The bacon's very, very thin. About 3/4 of it feels like fat, you know. There's not a lot of meat on it, but it's good. It's good for if you just want to put bacon in a sandwich, or as I've been using it as emergency bacon. Like, it's nighttime, everyone's asleep, I can't cook, and I want something that's not candy. So, I eat some bacon. Anyway, I had been, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I'd been talking to Wombat about the Jaws board game, because he mentioned wanting to teach me Battletech, and I'm like, well, if you're going to teach me Battletech, let me teach you Jaws. Long-time viewers of my channel will know that I am a huge, huge shill for the Jaws board game. I fucking love it. It is, and I still stand by this, it is the most well-designed board game, the most well-designed tabletop game I have ever played in my life. And I even billed it as such when we did his stream earlier today. And by earlier today, I mean yesterday. Because for me, it's basically still today, even though it's always today. You know what I mean. My brain still thinks it's Monday, because I'm very, very shallowly into Tuesday right now. I did actually get a letter from unemployment to figure out what the delay has been on my unemployment benefits. And it's a fuck-up, but I don't know on whose part. Basically, I listed Walmart as my employee. Or my employer, yeah. I employ Walmart, people. It's all me. I sign the checks, and yet I can't afford a decent laptop. But yeah, I listed Walmart as my employer, and I gave the address of the place I worked. One moment. And they did the thing, and they couldn't pull any money from it, but they had a completely unrelated place with a different address that has all my money. The numbers look right, but I don't recognize the address. It's nowhere near where I worked. So my plan is later today I'm going to call them, straighten it out, and tell them, look, I gave you the information I had, which is that I worked at this one. I could confirm that this is what it is, but I've never even been to that address, much less, I mean, that might be where all the money comes from in this county, but I feel like if I just click confirm just to get my money, I might be committing fraud. Meanwhile, if I don't clear this up, I'm not doing anything at all. So, anyway. But yeah, me and Wombat played Jaws on his stream. And I won both rounds, although the very first turn of the very first round, he got a barrel in me. Obviously, I played the shark, because I always play the shark when teaching people, and generally play the shark in general. Plus, even though I wasn't looking at his stream, if he played the Shark, I could stream snipe his ass, because he has to write down where he goes. And that, even though I wouldn't do that, it's just the fact that I can is fucked up. So with any luck, there will be future Jaws streams in the future, and possibly with more people, because he does have other friends, and I would love to get a 4-player game of Jaws going. The luck really wasn't with him in the second round. I absolutely canned his ass. He got me down to maybe a third of my health, or he got me down by a third of my health. I was still very, very much in the lead, and I ate the whole boat. Couldn't hit Hooper for the fucking life of me, though. And not for lack of trying, because I swung on him like 8 times and only hit once. So that was fun. But Jaws went pretty well. Shark Day with Robert did not happen. His wife had, before he was supposed to go in, he gave me a text saying, hey, Shark Day might be postponed. I'm going to try and make it over there, but my wife's not going to work. Her blood sugar's really high. I'm taking her to the emergency room. I'm like, okay, cool, man. Me and his wife may not get along, but that doesn't mean I want anything bad to happen to her. So Shark Day has been relocated to Saturday. My roommate originally said something along the lines of, well, he's going to watch the playoffs, and it's like, you know what, I can go out so you and Robert can have the living room, etc., because his team's not really playing, so he's just going to either go to a friend's house or go to the bar or whatever and watch it, so that's cool. So I get Saturday for Shark Day. So yeah, no Shark Day. I wish I could report that it was a huge success, but it didn't happen at all. You may notice something has happened on my channel. I have uploaded a Kingdom Hearts video, specifically back cover. It's Kingdom Hearts Chi, I think it's pronounced. It's basically Kingdom Hearts X back cover. It is the prequel cinematics for what is supposed to be the game that takes place chronologically in the series, the first game. And I've uploaded that. I did a blind viewing of it. I had to upload it. I think it's in 1080p. I'm going to have to look in on that shortly. Actually, fuck it. I'm not watching this video, so I'm just commentating, so I may as well look at it now. I'm going to see... You two, stop fighting. Hey, break it up. I don't care which one of you wanders off, but one of you wander the fuck off. Alright, let me just look here. Oh. 2 people have watched it, apparently. That's interesting. Content. Let me go see. Of course, there's a copyright claim. I'm not surprised. I'm honestly not fucking surprised that there would be a copyright claim of this thing. But I'm not monetized, so I'm not worried about it. I don't think there's anything I need to do. I think basically what's going to happen is it's going to be something along the lines of, hey man, we're going to put ads on your video because you're using our content, which, fuck it. If they want to do that, let them do it. It doesn't seem to be restricted in any way. I seem to be able to watch it. Let me do settings here, quality. Yup, 720, 1080p, okay. I think, let me just full screen this motherfucker. Yeah, that looks right. Let me zoom it down to my usual quality of 480. Honestly, I'm not noticing that much of a difference, but I don't have an eye for this kind of shit. I might have to have Wombat or someone else look at it and all the qualities to see, hey, is this, as it claims, 1080p? Because right now, I am... Oh, what's the word? I basically figured out how to do my editing software, for lack of a better term. It's just Movie Maker, really. How to save things in HD. And saving it in 480p cuts the file size down by about half. And saving in HD cuts a gig or 2 off of it. So it cuts it down to maybe 75%. Which, if it works, if it actually shows up in good quality, I may, and most likely will, start doing with my PlayStation recordings. It's worth that extra space for me to do that. But if it's not, then there's no reason to put in the extra space and just cut down on my hard drives and shit. So that's a thing I'm going to be launching into. But anyway, I have begun the Kingdom the Kingdom Hearts Saga, as I've labeled the playlist. Basically, I own the Kingdom Hearts all-in-one package, which is 2 game cases with 3 discs. The first case has 2 discs, and it is basically every Kingdom Hearts game that they've decided is worth releasing. And every single one of them with the exception of Kingdom Hearts 3. And then Kingdom Hearts 3 is its own game. And I am running through them in chronological order, which means I have just started Birth by Sleep as Aqua's campaign. And by just started, I mean I've literally just started it, I've done 1 episode, and I left off right at the part where Aqua would go to her first world. So, I have done nothing yet. And it looks like I'm stuck with the shitty controls that game has, but whatever. At least they'll probably be consistent throughout the series, so maybe I'll get used to it by the time Kingdom Hearts 3 rolls around. What else have I done? I've been doing stuff on Star Trek Online. The seasonal event ended, so there's not much to do other than status quo shit, like refining dilithium, doing the occasional task force operations, doing my endeavors to get things. Nothing major, just minor shit, minor maintain the status quo shit. Money's getting low, but if I can get unemployment to flow in soon, it won't be an issue. Or if I get that call soon from one of the places I applied to, it will likewise be a thing. I might actually contact vocational rehab and get their assistance, because I am, quite frankly, wholly unprepared for this shit. I do not know, because neither school nor my family has ever prepared me to really do job hunting or filing for unemployment or taxes or literally any of the things most adults know how to do. So I'm basically going to try and contact Vokery and see if they can hook me up with someone again, because I think I'm still in their system for 3 years and it's only been 2. So they can hopefully help me with unemployment while I wait and help me get jobs and do all the things I need to do, and we'll kind of go from there. Because if I can get unemployment, I can do things like fix my bike, and if I fix the bike, I have access to more locations. Otherwise, I'm entirely dependent on the bus routes, which I can use the bus. Especially right now, with COVID, all the buses are free, so I don't even have to factor it into my budget right now. I mean, I will in the future, but honestly, a bus a day is not more expensive than Ubering. I will take a $5 bus pass over a $20 Uber ticket. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've started Kingdom Hearts. I have to finish Until Dawn. That's going to happen over the next day or so. It really kind of has to happen. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I remember why I did that. I think I was basically trying to reset things or get my health up or whatever. Or maybe I just wanted to flat out retreat. I don't know. But anyway, I have to finish Until Dawn. I'm only like 2 episodes out from finishing my second run. Then I might do a third one that's just the movie that me and Robert can commentate on together if he so desires. I'll check with him first, because if he doesn't want to do the horror movie run, especially on Shark Day, which is probably when it'll happen, then I won't bother with it. You know what I mean? There's no point. And if he does, then I'll record it. But the main thing is, I kind of want to get Until Dawn off my system, because it's a huge fucking game. It's like 30 plus gigabytes, and I need that space for these recordings, Just out of curiosity, how much space do I currently have on the external? That's another thing. If I'm kind of hoping we, before the end of the month, get another stimulus or something, because I need it to catch up on bills, and to fix my bike, and get the girls their flea pills, and get a couple more external hard drives. If I can get 2 more double teras or larger, then I'm set, But my stimulus went into a lot of other things. I don't even remember what I spent it on. See, now that pisses me off. Because I didn't spend a whole lot of it on me stuff. I mean, I did. I spent like 100, 120 on myself, and the rest I think were all bills. Like, I kept it for various bills and the rent and shit. But, yeah, $600 is a fucking joke. Okay, so that leaves me that. That's distressing. Oh, that's right. A huge chunk of it went away as my phone bill because I paid it in advance and didn't realize that it didn't take out. So I kept factoring as though that $75 was still in there because I didn't realize it hadn't checked itself. So that's PlayStation Now. I'm just... Okay. 15th, I can skip that. Shit. I basically have until the 15th to come up with another $30. And it's just gonna kind of go from there. I'm basically like $150 short of where I need to be this month. And unemployment will take care of that, flat out. If I can start getting unemployment checks, especially backed unemployment checks from, you know, the time that I was fired, then I'm golden. I'm flat out sitting pretty. You know what I mean? Because my rent is all but $100 paid this month, and though that was the major bill, my phone bill's paid, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'll figure something out. Worst case scenario, I have people who might be able to help me out, and I've still got vocational rehab, which can help me with the job thing and help me with the unemployment thing. Because the thing is, when I was in vocational rehab and we actually got my stuff out there, actually got my applications out into the world, I waited maybe a week before I got the 2 hits that ended up being the hits, you know, before I got Save-A-Lot and then Walmart. So, Save-A-Lot would be a top grade for me right now because it's right near my house. It's a quick 10-minute walk. I've been making that trip almost constantly the past week to get groceries and whatnot, so it's a good location for me. There's also an auto store nearby that I could potentially get a job as a store clerk, and I ought to look into that. And there's a couple other things as well, but sadly, apparently the Save-A-Lot near me isn't hiring, and I have not heard back one way or the other from Circle K yet. And that's my horse going down. So, honestly, aside from getting caught up on YouTube shit, as I do, you know, just watching YouTube videos, a lot of VTuber stuff, a lot of gaming stuff, and the two tend to overlap. I don't watch as much as the Japanese girls just because I don't like subtitles. But they do have enough charm that I will watch them. And the other problem is, I don't watch things. I listen to things, and when it's all in Japanese, I can't really do a lot with it. But I watch the English VTubers, mostly Hololive N and VShojo. So they're a lot for me. I've been watching more Project Melody lately. Melody, for me, was the weak link of VShojo. It's not that I hate her, it's just that she's... And this is going to be weird considering she's the literal goddamn cam girl of the group. She's the normal one. Or at least she was until Fruit came along. She really is. She's the normal one. When you put her next to Mouse and Yanners and Zen and Silver, she just kind of sits there. You know, she's not... Despite being the cam girl, she's not as lewd as Iron Mouse is. She's not as cute as Silver. She's not as completely off her rocker as Yanners. And she's not nearly as unlucky as Zen, you know. And she certainly isn't as innocent as Fruit, so she just kind of doesn't have that thing for me that makes her stick out. And her design, while nice, just doesn't quite seem up to the quality of the other girls. Like, think of it in terms of, like, video games. You know, the other VShojo girls all have, like, PS4 graphics, and she's sitting there on a PS1, you know. So that's just kind of a thing for me. But she's fun. She's entertaining. I don't hate her. It's just, I'm not like, oh, that's a Melody thing, I need to watch this. Whereas I'll do that shit for, like, Mouse and Silver and Yanners. I'll watch... Yanners has me watching the weirdest shit. Like, the fucking toilet stream. And her fucking seal videos and whatnot. I watch some weird shit because of that girl. And again, I watch weird shit watching Lucas, so what do I say? So yeah, I've been watching them, and I have been getting more and more into Dead by Daylight. I recently, I don't know if I posted this in the last update, but recently I have put a, not even a highlight, basically it's a bragging video where it was one of my first major I got everybody games, where I just absolutely cleaned house with Michael Myers and was so proud of myself that I had to post it, where I just... best game I'd played, you know. And I've actually had 2 more since then. One is a survivor and one is a killer. So I've been playing that lately, and I have discovered that despite looking forward to it, I have no use for the infinite tier 3 Michael Myers. Because you basically have to stalk everyone to completion, and I just didn't play it right. And if I really put the effort in, I could play it right, but it just doesn't fit my style for the effort that it takes. Like, I have to stalk everyone to completion. If I fuck up even one person and don't get all the evil out of them, then the whole thing goes into the dumpster, you know? And so on. Whereas it's just easy to just play my style. So, basically, aside from getting new perks, and there's only a couple I want that Michael Myers can learn on his own, there is no reason to complete Michael Myers' Blood Web. Except mostly to unlock his perks for other people, and I don't really want to use his perks for other people. So I've started working on my survivors a little bit, specifically Nea, because I want her little crouch thing for whoever I decide to main, which will probably be Lori. I've already started leveling Lori a little bit. I like her whole survivor-based thing. Survivors are going to be a lot of trouble for me to play because, A, it is very long to get into Survivor game. Like, if you want to do a killer game, you could be waiting for up to 2 minutes. If you want to do a Survivor game, you could be waiting for up to 10 minutes. And that's kind of a problem, but, you know, it is what it is. I did actually, on that infinite tier 3 Michael Myers, I did get a mercy kill. At one point, I just realized, fuck it, they've got the gates open, I'm just going to stand here. And I look back, and here's a guy just sitting there, let me get the kill. So I literally went on the messages, I'm like, your sacrifice was appreciated. I underestimated how much stalking I had to do. He's like, yeah, I figured that's what it was. So I've actually dealt with, like, 2 other players that have contacted me, where one was, I disconnected. I was doing decent, but I disconnected, and they're like, oh, we were streaming the Mori that you used. Because I had one of the Ebony Mori, and I actually killed one of them. Like, we were streaming it, but I never got to see it. I'm like, sorry, sometimes my internet just coughs. Like, it goes down for a second. It happens about once a day, but I'm rarely playing online, so it rarely matters. Usually it'll happen with Star Trek. If it happens at all. But, and another one, I don't even remember, but it was, I have gotten some compliments for my playstyle, the fact that I play... Yes, you can play with this. You can play with that. That I play Michael Myers at Tier 1. So it turns out I really can't play him the way he's meant to be played, where you get his tier up and you start stalking and all that shit. I can't play him that way. For some reason, I can play other people. Like, I can play Freddy Krueger that way. But I do better with no terror radius. And Michael Myers has no terror radius at Tier 1, so he's just really fits my style. And I do for a certain value make up for his lack of speed. I actually had a really good one, and I feel kind of bad about it because I had to camp, and I'll explain why in a minute. In one of the maps, I got the elementary school, which is a map I've never played before. It's the Silent Hill map, I believe. And I've heard that it's one of the 2 best maps for Michael Myers because it's full of blind corners that you could just pop right out of. And in fact, if I were playing with the Scratched Mirror, which is the one item for Michael Myers besides the boyfriend memo, which is super common, that I actively use, I could do some evil shit on that map. For those who don't know, the Scratched Mirror is a Michael Myers item where it makes it so that your Evil Within can't go to Tier 2. You're basically stuck in Tier 1, which is what I want. And his stalking normally reveals the aura of someone within line of sight. Well, with Scratched Mirror, they don't have to be line of sight, they have to be within range. So I can see them through walls, floors, and ceilings. And on a map like this, it makes it super easy for me to sneak up on people. And what happened in this map was I managed to get a whole bunch of people in the basement. Basically, one person, for whatever reason, screwed up on the stairs and ran into the wall. They started to turn too fast and ran into the wall, and I caught them for the second swipe. Dragged that one downstairs. The person that I left downstairs on the ground had crawled upstairs and almost got away from me, but I caught her and dragged her back, put her on the hook. And then there was just one guy left, and I knew where the hatch was because I'd run into it early, so I go in and close it, meaning now they have to fix the generators and get to the doors. Well, the problem is, I know where both doors are because I can see them as the killer. They highlight. And there's only one person. I will catch your ass. And because once you close the hatch, the timer starts counting down. You have to get out those doors, or it's your ass. Well, I caught the guy coming downstairs, and he basically disconnected before I could put him on a hook. So that was another 4 sweep that I had. But that was the reason I say I camped. I stuck close to the basement hooks because I didn't know the map well enough. And if I moved, I would not be able to find my way back. So I kind of just hung out near the basement hooks. Besides, that's where all the action was happening. Because they kept going to the one upstairs from the basement hooks. I caught all of them on that same fucking generator. 3 other generators in the place, they decided that was the one they wanted. Never mind the fact that I'd set up shop there. I had visibly decided to live at that generator. No, they're going to go to that one. So that one was kind of on them. But I am actually having a lot of fun with the game. I'm still very stressed playing the survivors, because I think I've mentioned this before in horror games. I don't do them well. I don't handle being chased. I hesitate to use the word because I might be wrong, but I basically have mild panic attacks when I'm being chased by something. And when I say something, I mean something. Like, it'll happen where if one of the games I used to play as a kid is if I heard someone coming down the hall, I would try to hide. Just for no reason. Just to see. I mean, they weren't looking for me, and I wasn't planning to jump out and surprise them. I just wanted to see if I could hide and they wouldn't see me. It's a dumb instinct I had, just a dumb thing I wanted to do. There was no point behind it. No one ever even knew they were playing this game with me. But when I did that, I would get the same sensation of, oh no, you're going to get caught, you're going to get caught, you know, that I get in horror games. Except, in horror games, there are consequences if I get caught. You know what I mean? But, and I get that a lot with survivors. I am actually very easy to startle in a horror game, and I panic easily. And I even do it sometimes as the killer, where I just get really hyper. If I had ever, and I won't, but if I had ever done a face cam, I fidget a lot as the killer. When I get close, I'll get up on my knee on the chair and I'll start moving a lot. Just sometimes with the controller, sometimes not. And I'm not one of those people normally who just jerks the controller in the air as I'm trying to jump, which a lot of people do. And We as gamers do make fun of you for it, whether we do it in front of you or not. Believe me, we talk about it. I don't do that, but I do move a lot. And it's been brought to my attention that I stand, or at least kneel, when I get tense. And if I'm standing, I will move closer to the TV and then kneel in front of it. It's actually a thing where I have a lot of difficulty sitting when I play video games. I do it at Robert's house, I'll sit. But before I got my own PS4 and I was playing the roommate's one, he has a very comfortable couch that I never sit on. I would just plop myself on the floor in front of the TV because I'd end up there anyway. But yeah, I'm having fun as Michael Myers. I'm slowly leveling up Nurse and Freddy as well. Because Freddy, I mean, fuck it, I spent the money on him. I may as well play him. And he is fun. And I did pretty well as him. I think I actually got a 4-kill with Freddy once. Yes, I did. Because I had one person up on a hook and happened to intercept someone else coming to save that person. And bam, 4-kill. You know. So, I'm not bad at Freddy once I figured out how his power worked, because the first time I didn't pay attention, and I think I got maybe one person. For reference sake, I tend to get 3 as Michael. And I've got maybe a 75% ratio of getting 3 people as Michael Myers, and the remaining is almost all... The remaining 25% is maybe 23% of those. The last person will get away through the hatch. And the remaining 2% is I'll get the 4. Or no, 22% they get away through the hatch. 2%, 2 or more of them get away through a gate, and 1% I get everybody. So I generally, unless I'm doing experimental shit, which is basically guaranteed to fuck me, if I play the way I normally play, I have a very good success rate. And I would actually love to get together with a group of people and just play. Not even necessarily with me on Discord with them or anything. I just kind of want to be part of a recording, you know. Like, I'm thoroughly content going Among Us style, where it's like, okay, me and 4 other people get in a Discord call together. I'm the killer, they're the survivors. I'll deafen myself during the game, and then at the end of it, I'll go back in so I can hear them, and I'll mute myself as well. You know, deafen and mute, kind of Among Us style. And then, you know, we'll start talking again until the next match kind of thing. And I would like to do that. And I'd even go so far as to record my own audio for it so that, you know. Or better yet, switch my headphones, because I have 2 headphones, one in the computer, one in this. Just switch over to these headphones for my own recording, and then, you know what I mean. I'd love to do that, just to see, because I'd love to see people's reactions to me just appearing out of nowhere as Michael Myers, because I don't get to see that. And I think only one time have I ever seen what happens to be on the receiving end of Freddy Krueger, because I've never played against him, because I've only played like 4 times as a survivor, and none of the VTubers or YouTubers even that I've played or that I've watched play have dealt with Freddy, except like one time. So I don't know what the whole Dream World thing looks like. But I am invested enough in the game that when I get a stable source of income, I will gradually buy all of the packs. And I would love if we got the Creeper as the next villain. And they do keep updating the game, so it's possible that we will get a new killer. When was the last killer introduced? Dead by Daylight. Most recent new killer. They're updating one of them right now. I think it's the Clown or something. Looks like the Twins were the most recent one at February in 2020, so it's been about a year, but considering how old the game is, when was the game released? 2016. This game's 4 years old, and we're still getting like new killers as recently as last year, and updated killers as recently as this month. So it's still got a bit of a community going. People are still playing it. Like the V Shoujo girls are still playing the game. So, but like I said, I'd love to have the Creeper. Jeepers Creepers is probably my second favorite horror movie franchise after Final Destination. But Final Destination would not work in this game because there is no actual killer. Death is a shapeless force. It's even less of a factor than the entity of Dead by Daylight is, because at least the entity shows up to collect its sacrifices. You know what I mean? Whereas Death, you just kind of be at most like a cloud of shit. I mean, it'd be interesting if they could make it work. I'd love to see the mechanics of it, but I don't really see it. I do kind of want, I think it's Amanda, the pig girl from Saw, which I've never seen Saw. Maybe one of these days I should watch it. It didn't appeal to me, but I would like to see, Chucky was brought up. I didn't see the video, but it was in the recommended on the video of the Creeper, you know, what the Creeper might potentially have. Let's see. I would like to see Creeper, top tier for me. Chucky would be good. He'd be short, but he'd be good. And the shortness wouldn't really matter much because the survivors don't really attack him, you know. So it's not like, oh, I keep missing him with the gun. There's no gun, you know. Let's see. Capcom's probably out, so no Resident Evil characters, although they would be pretty cool too. What? Let me check something here. What company released Left 4 Dead? Maybe it was Konami. Valve. Because I know they have a Left 4 Dead character in there. It's Bill. I don't know much about the franchise itself, but Bill is in there from Left 4 Dead, apparently. Pyramid Head and Cheryl from Silent Hill, so that's Konami, I believe. Let's just say, miraculously, that they allow one Resident Evil character, one survivor, one villain. Who would I pick? I mean, of course you got the classics, like you got Claire and Jill and Chris, you know, and Leon. Those come to mind. I'd like to see Rebecca Chambers come back. You know, I would love to see in Dead by Daylight, if we had Resident Evil, I'd like Rebecca Chambers as a survivor, and the original Tyrant as the monster, the one from Resident Evil 1, the white one, the defective one with the exposed heart. I'd like to see him, because we get the Mr. X Tyrant all the time, like he's in Resistance. We get Nemesis, he's also in Resistance, but we never see Tyrant 1, and I would like to see that. Now, I don't think that'll happen because A, Capcom's a different company, and B, they have Resident Evil Resistance already. Which, hey, I'd like to see Rebecca and Tyrant 1 in there as well. I'm honestly surprised Albert Wesker isn't already in that game. Well, that's neither here nor there. Predator's not going to happen, although it'd be pretty cool to have Dutch and Predator. Alien probably won't happen, but of course you'd have Ripley in the Xenomorph, and that would be really cool too. What other franchises? You could do The Thing. The Thing would actually be really good. You'd have MacReady and The Thing. And The Thing's power would be similar to, I think it's the Wraith stealth thing, where you could take the appearance of another survivor and just blend in seamlessly. And the only problem is you could flat out ruin it with, you know, voice chat, which you're technically not supposed to have, but it'd be really cool if you played against people who didn't have voice chat and you're like, oh my god, is this the guy or is this the guy? Because the Thing would show up as them, it'd be in the same condition, etc. But he'd be really cool, especially if he Things out and he becomes this hideous abomination. So The Thing would be good with MacReady as the survivor. Let's see. I kind of want to see the miner from My Bloody Valentine. I only saw like the remake of it, but I think that'd be pretty cool. Jason's probably not going to be in because he has his own game again. Which I played a little bit of Friday the 13th, and I'm really not impressed with it. It doesn't feel as cool as the other asymmetricals that I played, which are Predator Hunting Grounds, Resident Evil Resistance, and Dead by Daylight. I played Friday the 13th. It doesn't do it for me. What else is there? Pumpkinhead. Oh my god, that'd be a good one. Pumpkinhead. I'd like to see Pumpkinhead in this game. Pumpkinhead's actually interesting for me because that was one of those horror movies that I could watch before I got into horror movies. Like, even though I'm an absolute bitch and it took me forever to start watching slasher movies, Pumpkinhead is one that never scared me. Probably because the premise of Pumpkinhead is that he doesn't fuck with you unless you're his target. I mean, if you interfere, you're on the list. But if you don't, he doesn't fuck with you. There's no... Like, if you walk in on Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers, it's your ass. You walk in on Pumpkinhead, just back off and you're fine, you know. And I think that's kind of interesting, though. But yeah, Pumpkinhead would make a great character, actually. Who else? Who else would be good? Honestly, you know what'd be really good? Jurassic Park. Go with... I was going to say go with one of the raptors. Go with the Indoraptor. And your survivor could be... I cannot remember his name, but Chris Pratt's character. That'd actually be really good, because the Indoraptor has that slasher mentality. I mean, the raptors in the other games, or the other movies, were kind of attacky, but not in the same way. It's basically, you know, your food, I want to eat you. The Indoraptor was actively malicious. Now, the Indorex would be better, but you're not going to have a 20-foot killer. You're just not. You know, but the Indoraptor is the right size. He's got some menace to him. And he'd be fast, you know. So that'd actually be kind of cool. Let me see if I can come up with one more. That's another horror movie that I think would be really awesome to have as a killer. And again, the problem is I don't watch a lot of horror movies. You know what? The killer from Hellfest might be interesting. He's not great, but he could be interesting. But yeah, honestly, I'm really taken by Dead by Daylight. I would very much like to find people to play with, like consistently, not just like get some randos, but get some people that we can mix shit up as. Like, I'd love to be in a big collab where we just rotate who the killer is, you know. But you know, it's something. Maybe I could find people. I don't know. The problem is, most of the people I associate with aren't asymmetric gamers. They're just not. They don't do those games. And a lot are PC gamers, but in this game it doesn't matter because there's cross-platform. But I'll look into it. I mean, hey, if you've got people who are, you know, on PC or on PS4, let me know. I'll game with you. You know, right now my schedule's pretty open for at least a little while. But, you know, leave a comment with, you know, a username or whatever. Send me a message. I mean, you've seen what my thing is. Not that here's the funny thing. I don't actively play on that account. Not really. But if nothing else, you could contact that account and get my actual account, you know. Because I don't play on my my Let's Play account. I play on my personal account. But I mean, drop me a line on shit, or like, hey, here's this user thing, contact me, you know, and I'll play some Dead by Daylight. I love the game. It's a lot of fun. About to say, yeah, it looks like I've already started building a force. So, just to recap, this week I have played some Jaws, missed Shark Day, got my food stamps in. That was good. I didn't just get the 16. They did, in fact, extend the extra, so I have the 188. So I may not know where the rest of the rent's coming from, but food is taken care of. I will be eating this month. Gotta contact some people tomorrow about my jobs and whatnot. I have to... I don't even know. I've done Kingdom Hearts. I've been working Dead by Daylight. I've been working Star Trek, and watching some YouTube. It's been a bit of a thing. I am well ahead of where these need to be. Like I said, I'm like 24 to 27 episodes in, meaning I have almost passed the halfway mark for this year, which I believe is only 50 episodes. Because I did the scouting on that. Let me take a look here. For 2021, there will be how many episodes of This Week in Kyrix? It looks like the magic number is 51. So yeah, we're going to be one short. So I will have 52 episodes this year, but one will be this year in Kyrix. And I'm proceeding in a great clip. I'm doing quite well. I'm actually kind of upset at how well I'm doing on this, because in just this many episodes, I have made so much staggering amounts of progress. Shit, hold on. Drop the controller. But I'm still plugged in and nothing paused. That's good. But yeah, I've made staggering amounts of progress just in this short span of time. And it kind of impresses and upsets me, because it impresses me that I could be this good at the game. And it upsets me that I could have been this good at the game ages ago if I figured out this is a thing I could do. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. So after this, I'm likely looking to watch some more YouTube. Watch some YouTube, maybe play some DBD, you know, so on and so forth. So, yeah, it's okay. I mean, hell, maybe I could get, I don't know how big his gaming group is, but maybe I could get Wombat and his buddies in on some DBD. You know, they could play PC, I could play this, and it's not like having contact with the killer breaks the game, because I've seen Markiplier and his group and Silverveil and her friends all play with the killer on the mic. So, it's entirely doable. So, other than that, there's been a couple Runaway Guys updates of playing Secret of Mana, which is great for me because that's a game that I kind of missed growing up. I had limited access to it, but I never really played it, and even in the emulator time, I just didn't get quite as into the game as I should have, you know. So it is what it is. But I have it now myself. I have Final Fantasy Legend as well. Make of those what you want. I gotta get a hold of my friend and see about getting Final Fantasy 14 or 12 back rather, and seeing if she and her brothers want to do some Pokemon stuff. Because I haven't in a while, and I kind of wanna battle with my Pokemons. Give me a reason to do stuff. That's the big thing, is since COVID happened and League stopped, I have had less and less reason to improve my Pokemon, and that annoys me. I should actually fire up pretty soon the recording software and get Sword or get Crown finished so that I can access the full game, you know, get all my legendaries, complete my Pokedex for reals again, and so on and so forth. But actually been eating a lot of candy lately. It's bad, but it's a snack that I have access to. You know what I mean? Sometimes I don't want to cook. Sometimes I can't cook. Because the problem with me is I don't get hungry enough to cook often, especially if I have any kind of snacks on hand. And I can't cook at night. But anyway, we're going to call it here. I will see you guys in the future. That's it. Bye-bye, everybody.